Hey everyone, it's Jennifer Foltz. I'm a realtor and interior designer here in Campbell, California in Silicon Valley. JF Homes and Design. You can go on over to my Instagram page, jf.homesanddesign, or visit me on my website, jfhomesanddesign.com, and give me a follow. Today we're going to talk about some first-time home buyer tips and what the process is like. So first off, I'm in the shop today and I am in my shop attire, so nothing fancy today. So as I'm roaming around, you're gonna see some stuff that is in process, and yeah, it's looking a little bit better in here. We'll see. So first time home buyers, so your initial first step of the process is going to be, seeing what your budget really is. So first step is to work with a realtor that has a lender you can talk with, or if you already have a lender through your bank who you know you're going to be utilizing, connect with your lender first. You want to see what your true budget is going to be. That way you know what price point you can look at. You don't want to start looking at $550,000 homes if all you can afford is $175,000. Or even if you're looking at larger numbers, if you're looking at $3 million homes and all you can look at is 1.75, you want to stay realistic into what your budget is and what you can truly attain. So during this process, after you're meeting with your lender, it's going to be really important not to make any large purchases during the time you're wanting to purchase a home. So that means no new automobile, car leases, or loans. You don't want to be buying furniture or any other large investment, even if it, if you're paying for eye surgery or whatever it might be. You don't want to take out a large chunk of money for that purpose. So keeping your costs down, you want to take a look at your credit score as well. So take a look at your Equifax and really pull a full report. And your lender can also help you with this as well. They're going to be pulling a report also, but it's good for you to have a baseline from where you're at. Prior to talking with your lender, it's also important not to consolidate any of your bills. You want to make sure that they're going to help you to maneuver the best that you can, whether it is paying down specific items or keeping your payments as they are currently. You also don't want to move any of your assets around. This could change the way it looks of how much income you have and what's available, and could also cause some delays. Another important factor is not to change jobs during your process of home buying. Your lender wants to see that you're qualified and you have a stable employment history with the same employer. So I recently had a buyer who switched employment during their lending process, and it delayed things by several weeks, which you might not think several weeks is a lot of time, but to a seller who is looking to close within 30 days, when they have to extend that, 3+ weeks, that could be something where you could lose that contract for. So keep in mind, if you're interested in changing employment, wait until after you're done purchasing your home, unless it's something that you're going to be taking, a couple years to possibly do. But if you're looking to get into a home pretty quickly, do not change your job in the process. Let's talk about some financial options that you might need during this time. So some people might look at purchasing a home and be like, oh, I just need to have that initial down payment. Out here in Silicon Valley, it's roughly around a 3% that you're going to initially be putting down within that either 24 to 72 hour period of getting your contract accepted. You're actually going to be looking at more of around that 20% is what is pretty standard out here. Some people can go a little bit higher. You can go up to 30%, 40%, or if you're doing all cash, you do all cash. But that is just one part of it. So Additionally to your down payment that you're going to be having to bring to close, you're going to also have closing costs, and that's going to be something that's determined for that specific property, for that price point, and that is something that the lender is going to help us figure out what that is going to be. So between title and escrow and the lender, you get a breakdown of exactly what your closing costs are going to entail, what it's covering, and the exact amount down to that last penny of what that cashier check is going to have to be. All right, so away from the financial side, what are some different things to keep in mind for that first-time home buyer? So you want to take a look at the type of neighborhood that you want to be in. This is something that's realistically going to be a home for you for the next 10 years minimum. So what schools do you need to be close to? Is there family you want to be near, or specific parks that you want to be within walking distance or a short drive to? Really understanding the neighborhood and what that entails, the culture of it, the churches that might be there that you may be interested in, or jobs that are nearby if you're not wanting to commute. Those are aspects to really comb through and narrow down as you're starting your home buying process. So let's recap. So some things that we need to take into consideration for first-time home buyers is getting that meeting with your lender to get your pre-approval to see what you truly qualify for. And they can help you take a look at what debts you have, what can be paid down, and what can be resituated. So if you need to move any items around or do debt consolidation, if you need to improve your credit score after you get your credit score checked and after that lender checks your credit score, as they're looking at a few different items than what you're going to be able to access. Those are the first elements that we want to get in line for that first-time home buyer. So after you determine how much you can afford, we also want to take a look at what your emergency fund is, what you actually have saved and set aside for that. Additionally, you need to be able to look at the total down payment and the potential of the closing costs. So again, each value of the home, depending, what county it's in and what price point you're in, that is going to change the amount of closing costs that you would need to have on that last day there that you're signing your docs and delivering that check to them. All right, and lastly, we want to make sure you have a good neighborhood. We want to make sure that you're in a place that you can see your family grow and be comfortable in for the next at least 10 to 15 years, if that's, what your plan is. You don't want to be changing employment during all of this. You want to keep your finances strong, so whenever you're presenting an offer for a property, that you're coming in at the top and you have the best chance possible of getting that property under contract. All right, so that is it for today. That is a little bit for our first-time home buyers and what you need to keep in mind and get your process started with. If you haven't already, go on over to jfhomesanddesign.com and follow me on Instagram, jf.homesanddesign. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and if you have any questions, hit me up, send me a message directly through Instagram, or you can email me as well through my website, jfhomesanddesign.com.